Hey, what's up? Ian here, and this is the NF Audio NM2 Plus. It is a single dynamic driver IEM, and the retail price for this is $170 US. It's available on Hi-Fi Go's website. So if you want to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. Now, I've already unboxed this, I've listened to it, I've measured it in my live stream. So if you missed that video, do check out the link somewhere up here. But in this video, I'm just going to give it straight up to you guys, my opinion and my review of this NM2 Plus. So let's begin first with the box. This is the box that comes in. Very nice and generous box, and it looks pretty premium as well. Now inside the box you'll find, well, user guide of course, carrying case. This is a hard shell case, pretty common round donut shaped kind of case. 3.5 millimeter to quarter-inch adapter. And this ear tips. Now, I'm not a fan of this ear tips, but it comes in two types. One is the balanced ear tips, and the other is the wider inner bore ear tips, and they call it the atmosphere ear tips. The stock ear tips, they don't really fit my ear, and they keep slipping out from my ear, so not a fan of this ear tips. I've been tip rolling, by the way. And for the cable is the stock cable is also, I mean, it's an upgraded cable, but it doesn't feel good. It tangles onto itself. It's kind of thin, and I mean, thin is good, right? It doesn't add on weight to your earphones when it's on your ear itself, so not fatiguing, but the quality of it, and it just doesn't feel premium. So for $170, I find that the accessories are a little bit underwhelming, but it's not as bad as the NE4. I find that this one is pretty okay for the price point. Now, ear hooks is also actually quite stiff. Also, it keeps pulling the IEM out from my ear. Okay, so much for the accessories. Now let's talk about the IEM itself. The design of it is actually pretty nice. It's got this pretty common IEM shape, and it's made of aluminum alloy. The entire shell of it is made of aluminum. As you can see, the inner shell is kind of curvy with a built-in nozzle and metal filter. So the shape of this is actually pretty nice. The design of it is actually pretty common as well. Not too big, not too small, and it's just nice. It's a medium-sized type of IEM. Now, in terms of the fit and comfort, they fit me pretty well if I were to use my own cable and my own ear tips. Now, if I don't use the stock ear tips and the stock cable, then it was pretty uncomfortable, pretty annoying as well, because this cable keeps pulling the IEM out from my ears when I'm trying to enjoy my music. So yeah, not a fan of the stock cable and the ear tips. But if you were to switch it out, then you enjoy these earphones. They will fit your ear very nicely and pretty comfortably as well. Okay. Right, so now let's talk about sound. First, let's talk about the technical performance of this. And these are fantastic for $170. I mean, putting the accessories aside, $170 is well worth the price to pay for this IEM because of the technical performance of it. The overall resolution of this is very clear. There's 0 to none distortion, and the sound stage is really, really wide. One of the widest soundstage I've heard so far, and the layers of it and the sound separation of it is fantastic on this IEM, and I can pick up a lot of details from this IEM. So it's fantastic in terms of technical. In fact, it's just as good as the NM4, just that it's at the lower price. It's not as resolving, right? I would put it that way. It's not as resolving. At the same time, it's not able to change the tuning of it. But other than that, it has a very good technical performance. Now, in terms of tone and timbre, this is more of a lean tone. This is actually a pretty niche type of tuning. So it's got a lean and light and referencing type of tone and timbre. You won't find that this is going to be fun or V-shaped or more of a casual sound. No, this is not. This is pretty lean and referencing neutral sounding type of tone and timbre. I'll show you the graph later, explain why. But yeah, so the tone and timbre for this is pretty lean and light. Okay, now let's talk about the sound signature for this, and let's take a look at the graph. I'll try to lean it somewhere here if I can, but no, I can't. Okay, anyway, so this is the graph of the NM2 Plus, and looking at this is a very nice graph. I like this graph, though the treble is a little spicy here, but overall, when I listen to my tracks on this IEM, it gives me a very nice and reference sound. So if you're an audio engineer, or if you're a musician, a singer, this is actually a very good tuning for you guys. All right, now look at the sub bass. Sub bass is a little bit rolled off. That's a bit unfortunate, but the extension of the sub bass, I wouldn't say it's totally rolled off, whereby you won't feel or hear that rumble. You still feel it, you still hear it, but it's a little bit on the shy side, non-textured type of sub bass, which I like, right? I think I mentioned it quite a few times. So sub bass wise is not the star of the show. The mid bass is a little bit punchy, it's a little bit above the Harman target, as you can see here, and you get a little bit more punch, right? It's not muddy, it's not fast as well, but it's all right, because you can see that the mids are actually on par with the mid bass. So you get that punch, you get that impact, but not so much until it gets overwhelming. Okay, at the same time, it's pretty lean sounding as well. Note rate is a little bit on the leaner side. Okay, now in terms of the mids is where this IEM shines, and you can hear very clearly and the forwardness of your instruments and your vocals. So if you like listening to vocals, you like listening to orchestras, instruments, classical, jazz, this is the tuning that you want, because you get that presentation of your tracks, and it's very forward. And when I'm listening, I get unobstructed sound when I'm listening to my tracks, because there's no bass or sub bass to impede and veil my mids. So I like this kind of tuning, as I mentioned. So vocals, well, male vocals, they sound a little bit natural, neutral sounding, a little bit light, not so exciting, not so textured. Female vocals as well, they do sound, well, forward, but not as bright and sparkly as I would want, but they are forward, right? You can hear very clearly the presence of the vocals and the instruments. Now, in terms of the gain to the treble, it's quite intense. I wouldn't say shouty, but it's a pretty intense type of gain to the treble, as you can see here, to up all the way up to the upper mids. So this part here will make your track a bit more in your face, right? It's more spicy when you're listening to your tracks. So you get that, that pierce, but not so much. It's like that pressure there, but it's not so painful to a point whereby it's too close to your ears. So it's actually pretty okay, but it's tipping to the too much intensity kind of level for me. Okay, so that's for the Pina gain. Now the presence, as you can see, it peaked up here at the 5K region, and this is where it makes it a little bit sparkly, but then it slopes all the way down, it dips all the way down, all the way from 5K to the 8K region. And this part here will make your songs sound a little bit darkish, right? It's a very big dip. This is like 20 to 30 of maybe 15 dB difference, right? And this is a huge difference. So you can, when you're listening to your tracks, you find that it's a little bit thud. Okay, it's a bit dark, and also I would say shy in terms of the treble. But the good thing here is that you get about 2 dB of presence. So you get that sharp, increase in the presence, whereby it's a little bit of the sparkle there, then it dips all the way down. So when I listen to my tracks, the good thing is I don't get sibilance, I don't get sharpness, and there's no fatigue when I'm listening to my tracks, which is good. Electric guitars and flutes and violins, they don't sound tolerable to me. So basically, I can tolerate any song when I'm listening to this track, to this IEM. And then it slopes all the way back up at the brilliance area. This is where the air comes back in. The air of the treble comes back in, and it doesn't say, I wouldn't say sparkle, but it comes in with that clarity. Yeah, the clarity and the overall sense of air in your treble. So it sounds airy at the same time. It rolls off pretty nicely, whereby you get that very nice and satisfying treble extension. Okay, So that's the overall tuning of this NM2 Plus, and I would say this is actually a very niche tuning. It's suitable for reference, audio listening to. If you are an audio engineer and you need to reference your songs, then this is the IM to go for. If you're a singer, this is also the IM to go for. You don't hear much of the, the bass guitars or the drums or kick drums. Well, maybe a little bit of the kick drums, but you can hear your own voice, right? That's the main thing. And if you like listening to classical, jazz, movie soundtracks, this is the IM to go for. And if you're a gamer, this has got a very, very nice technical performance. So this is actually pretty good for gaming, right? It will give you a sense of stage, sense of details on this IEM. But for pop songs and heavy metal, R&B, EDM, well, not so much. I'm sure there are other IEMs there, will give you that V-shaped, fun kind of tuning, so that you can enjoy your tracks even more. But for this tuning, I would say is more on the referencing side and more of a leaner side in terms of the tuning. Right, so that's it for my review of this NM2 Plus. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.